Welcome to another part of research methodology. In this lesson, I am going to present the topic research design. What is a research design? The researcher has to make a plan of action before starting the research. This plan of study of a researcher is called the research design. The planning is one of the most important element of every activity. In research also, the researcher has to make a detailed plan of action before starting the research. This plan of action of the researcher is called research design. It is a comprehensive plan of the series of operations that a researcher intends to carry out to accomplish the research objective. So a research design consists of a series of operations or procedures that a researcher has to carry out to accomplish the research objectives. It is a conceptual structure within which the research is conducted, or it is the blueprint of the proposed research. It comprises the time and cost budget. As part of the research design, the researcher has to prepare time and cost budgets. It is a guide for selecting sources and types of information needed. The researcher has to determine what type of information required to be collected as part of the research and what are the sources of collecting these information. It is a strategy which specifies the approach used for gathering and analyzing data. In a research design, the methods and techniques of gathering data and analyzing data is to be prescribed. It is a framework for specifying the relationship among the variables. The researcher has to specify the relationship among various variables such as independent variable, dependent variable, etc. Let us analyze one or two definitions of research design. Research design is a master plan specifying the methods and procedures for collection and analyzing the needed information. According to William Zygmunt, research design is a master plan. It specifies the methods and procedures for collection and analyzing the needed information. Then according to Miller, research design is the planned sequence of the entire process involved in conducting a research study. Research design is the planned sequence of the entire process. It consists of the planning of the entire process involved in conducting a research study. The need or importance of research design or significance of research design. It gives a direction to the research. Research design is a plan of action and therefore it gives a direction to the research. The research can be conducted in accordance with the research design. It facilitates smooth, effective and economical working of various research problems. If a particular plan is prepared before starting the research, it facilitates smooth and effective conduct of the research work. It yields maximum output with the minimum effort, time and money. It leads to efficiency in research. That means it gives maximum output with the minimum cost. It is useful to prepare an advanced plan. Through research design, we are preparing an advanced plan. It helps to prepare cost and time budgets. Preparation of cost and time budget is the ingredient of research design. It prescribes the boundaries of research activities. The research design prescribes the boundaries of research activities and what is to be included in the research and what are not included in research. It enables the researcher to anticipate potential problems. A research design should be able to provide answers to the following queries. Through research design, we are trying to answer some questions. First one, what is the nature and scope of the study? What type of data are required for the conduct of the study? What is the purpose of the study? What are the objectives of the study? What are the sources of the needed data from where we can collect the data required for the conduct of the study? What should be the place or area of the study from which the data is to be collected? Then what is the approximate time required for the study? The time budget is the one of the most important element of research design. Next, what would be the methodology of the study? What type of sampling should be used, whether probability sampling or non-probability sampling is to be used? If probability sampling is selected, which method of probability sampling is appropriate for the study? Then what method of data collection would be appropriate? There are a lot of data collection methods such as observation, survey, experimentation, etc. Then how will the data be analyzed? What are the tools and techniques that can be employed for the analysis of data? Then what would be the approximate expenditure for conducting the study? That means the cost budget. Then how to organize the research report, how to organize the chapters and other elements of the research report. Next topic, components of a research design. What are the elements to be included in a research design? First one, title of the problem. The title of the problem must be specified. The title must be brief, precise, and the title must specify the nature of the study. Title must be self-explanatory and specific. Then statement of the problem. The problem should be stated in the research design. The key questions should be specified. State significance of the problem. Also state the expected contributions of the study. Then objectives of the research. Objectives can be given either as statements or in questions. Next, scope of the study. That means the area or aspects covered under study. The research design has to specify the area or aspects to be included in the study and the area or aspects that are not required for the study. While determining the scope of the study, the researcher has to consider the availability of time, money, accessibility of data, etc. So the scope of the study depends on time, money, accessibility of data, etc. Survey of literature is the next one. To get an insight to the proposed work, the researcher has to review the relevant literatures connected with the research topic. The research review is conducted to find out the research gap. So a research design shall specify the areas to be covered in review or the areas to be included in the review of literature. Then conceptualization of the terms used. A term may have several meanings. The adopted meaning of the word or the selected meaning of the word or the intended meaning of the word must be specified in the research design. Then formulation of hypothesis. Number of hypotheses or propositions may be made about the population. These hypotheses proposed for testing is to be specified in the research design. Then sample design. That is the plan for selecting sample. The research design shall specify the sample design. That means which method of sampling is to be adopted and what will be the sample size, etc. Then data collection. All the aspects relating to the data collection is to be included in the research design. That means the type of data needed for research, then sources of data, that means from where we can collect data, then methods of collecting data such as observation, interview, survey, etc. can be used for collecting data. So the research design has to specify which method of data collection is suitable for the research. Then tools for data collection, which tool of data collection is to be used, whether the questionnaire, interview schedule, observation schedule, which tool is to be used for data collection, that is also to be specified in the research design. Then processing and analyzing of data, that means we have to decide manual or electronic processing is to be followed in research. Then what are the tools of analysis that can be used for our research, etc. And the last one is the reporting standards, that means how to organize the thesis effectively. The next topic, characteristics of a good research design or essentials of a good research design. First one, flexibility. The research design must allow the possibility of changes in methodology in the future if the research demands so. A well-prepared plan is necessary for the conduct of the research, but this plan is subject to changes because the future contingency cannot be ascertained well in advance. So the research design must allow the possibility of changes in methodology in the future. The research plan must be flexible. Then appropriate. The research design must appropriate for the selected research problem. A particular research design may not be appropriate for all research problems. So the research design must be appropriate for the selected research problem. A design which yields correct information and provides an opportunity for considering many different aspects of a problem is considered most appropriate. Then the research design must be efficient. That means it must be able to provide maximum information with minimum effort and cost. Then the research design must be economical. That means the cost of conducting research must be affordable to the researcher. Next one, objectivity. The essence of objectivity is to make a given research free from researchers' biases. That means the research is to be conducted in accordance with the objectives of the study and through a well-defined scientific procedures. It should be free from researchers' biases. It should not be influenced by the attitude and the prejudices of the researcher. Then reliability, it is the consistency in using the methods and procedures of research. The same research methods and procedures are to be used in the research process consistently. Then consider all relevant factors such as nature of the problem, means of obtaining information, availability and skill of researcher, objectives of the problem, availability of time and money, etc. These are all the characteristics of a good research design. Next, research design for various types of research. Let us analyze the elements of the research design of four important types of research. Research design for exploratory studies, research design for descriptive studies, research design for diagnostic studies, and research design for experimental studies. First one, exploratory research design. Exploratory research is the initial research conducted to clarify and define the nature of a problem. It is a preliminary study of a new problem about which the researcher has little or no knowledge, and further research is expected on the topic. So exploratory research is a preliminary study or initial research conducted to clarify and define the nature of a problem. It can be compared to an initial investigation of a patient by a doctor or the FIR prepared by police authorities when an offense is reported. For example, when a murder is reported, the policeman will reach the spot and prepare the first information report or FIR based on the available evidences on the spot or on the basis of the information provided by the witnesses. This type of initial investigation is called exploratory research. The main purpose of exploratory research is the formulation of the problem. Therefore, it is called a formulative research. As it is unstructured, there is no specific steps prescribed for exploratory research. No specific steps can be prepared for exploratory research because it is unstructured. What are the features of exploratory research design? Exploratory research is a preliminary study. Simple and most loosely structured. That means the exploratory research is an unstructured research. Unstructured data collection instruments may be used for exploratory research. Then low cost is the another feature of exploratory research. Flexible in its approach. That means flexible design. It is unstructured and flexible in design. Then mostly qualitative investigation. That means qualitative data is mainly used for this type of research. Next, sample size may not be representative. That means probability sampling may not be possible. Generally, non-probability sampling methods are used in exploratory research. Then tries to answer basic questions relating to the problem or topic. Then further research expected in the area of research. No set of rules or standards to carry out the research. There is no set of rules or standards to carry out the exploratory research because it is unstructured. Then no pre-planned statistical design possible. We can't prepare a pre-planned statistical design for the collection or analysis of data. Then methods of exploratory research. Exploratory research can be conducted by any one of the following method. First one, observation. Then literature survey. Then experience survey. Fourth one, focus group discussion. Next, study of insight stimulating cases or case study. And the last one, analysis of secondary data. So we can use any one of these methods to conduct exploratory research. Let me take the first one, observation. It is a qualitative research technique where researchers observe participants' ongoing behavior in a natural situation. Generally, the observation is conducted in a natural situation. If it is conducted in a controlled environment, it is called experimentation. Observation schedule may be prepared in advance to make the observation structured and effective. An observation schedule consists of what are the elements to be observed. So an observation schedule may be prepared well in advance. Then next one is the literature survey. It is the survey or review of scholarly knowledge on the topic. Both conceptual and empirical literature may be reviewed. So the review of relevant literature on the topic will be helpful to study about the problem. Finding of the earlier works may be reviewed and its usefulness in the current problem may be evaluated. The findings of the earlier works in the same topic can be applied in the solution of the current problem. Third one, experience survey. It is the survey involving participants who have knowledge of the research problem. Experience survey helps in applying the proficiency of experts in the field to explore the problem. That means we can approach the experts in the field of the study and we can collect data from these experts. That is called experience survey. Then focus group discussion. The method aims to obtain data from a purposely selected group of individuals participating in the discussion guided by a moderator. So we can conduct a discussion of experts guided by a moderator. Through this discussion, we can explore the concept of the problem. Next, study of insight stimulating cases or case study. It is the intensive study of one or few selected complex situations or cases relevant to the topic or problem. We can take some situations or cases relevant to the topic or problem. All incidents and phenomena that stimulate the researcher can be analyzed. That means any situation or cases that stimulate the researcher can be taken for analysis under case study. Then analysis of secondary data is the last one. It is the analysis of secondary data from published or unpublished sources. Data may be collected from print sources and online sources such as the web. Second type of research design is descriptive research design. Descriptive research is a research that describes the characteristics of the population. It mostly focuses on what questions. Descriptive research includes surveys and fact-finding inquiries of different kinds. A descriptive study is one in which information is collected without changing the environment. That means nothing is manipulated in descriptive research. Researcher has no control over the variable. Only observe and measure the variable. The researcher only observe and measure the variable. The researcher has no control over the variable and nothing is manipulated or changed in descriptive research. It is used to describe what is in existence in respect to conditions or variables that are found in a given situation. So it is used to describe what is in existence or what is happening. It is a quantitative research. It consists of cross-sectional and longitudinal studies, but mostly cross-sectional studies. Cross-sectional studies are those studies in which the data is collected only once, but in longitudinal studies the data may be collected more than one time during the research process. Descriptive research is appropriate when the research aim is to identify characteristics, measure data trends, conduct comparisons, validate existing conditions, etc. Example, market research to analyze the behavior of consumers. Then what are the methods of descriptive research? First one is the observation, observing and recording participants' ongoing behavior in a natural situation. Second one, surveys, collecting data from a predetermined group of respondents by asking questions by means of interview schedule and questionnaire. So survey means the collecting data from a predetermined group of respondents through questionnaires or interview schedules. Then third one is the case study. It is an in-depth study of a single case, a social unit or situation to understand a complex issue. Then major steps in conducting descriptive research. First one, identify problem, review of literature, select participants and instruments. That means we have to determine the methodology. Then collection of data, then analysis of data, then generalization or interpretation of the results, and the last one, preparation of research reports. Then the third kind of research design is diagnostic research design. A diagnostic research is the research conducted to identify the causes of a problem and to find possible solutions to the problem. It determines the frequency of occurrence of something and its association with something else. So it determines the frequency of occurrence of that particular thing and the association of a particular thing with something else. Generally descriptive in nature. It is an applied research. So a diagnostic research is generally descriptive in nature and applied research in nature. Handling why questions. Diagnostic research handling why questions. It is mostly quantitative. Then mostly cross-sectional. That means the data is collected once. Then describe the cause and effect relationship of the variables. Then what are the stages of diagnostic studies? First one, the identification of the problem. Next, identification of information needed to solve the problem. We have to identify what are the information needed to solve the problem. Then selection or development of instruments for gathering information. That means we have to develop the instruments for collecting data. Then identification of target population and determination of sampling procedure. We have to identify the target population and we have to determine which method of sampling is to be used. Then design of procedure for information collection. Then collection of information. Then analysis of information with the help of suitable tools. Then generalization or prediction about the population elements. And the last one, recommendation or recommending suggestions for the problem solution. Then experimental research design is the last one. What is an experimental research? Experimental research is a scientific approach to research. It deals with the why questions. It is the research in which the effect of the independent variables on the dependent variable is usually observed and recorded. So in experimental research, the effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable is usually observed. One or more independent variables are manipulated and applied to one or more dependent variable to measure their effect on dependent variable. So in experimental research design, the independent variables are manipulated to assess the impact of these independent variable on dependent variables. The objective of experimental research is to test hypotheses about cause and effect relationship. In experimental research, generally the hypotheses are formulated to test the cause and effect relationship between the variables. Then researcher has control over variables. The researcher has control over the independent variables. Then it is quantitative in nature. Experimental research allows to test the idea in a controlled environment. Generally, the experimental research is conducted in a controlled environment and the researcher has control over the independent variable. Then after analyzing the result, findings can be applied to similar ideas or situation. So in experimental research, the findings derived from the experimental study can be applied to similar problems or similar situations. Experimental research design. It is the blueprint of the procedure to be adopted in experimental research. It is the plan of action for experimental research. It refers to the conceptual framework within which an experiment is conducted. It is an example of experimental design. Here, the growth of plant A and plant B is experimented. So the inputs given to the plant A may be different from that of input given to plant B. Types of experimental design. First one, pre-experimental research design. They often happen before a true experiment is conducted. So it is a preliminary experiment before conducting the actual experiment. In a pre-experimental research design, one or more dependent variable or experimental group are observed to measure the effect of an independent variable or control group. Then in a pre-experimental research, researcher has very little control over the experiment and variables. Here, the independent variables may not be manipulated. Here, only the effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable is measured. Two types of pre-experimental research designs are, first one shot case design. That means test only after the experiment. For example, set control groups and experimental groups first, then conduct the experiment and post test. That means the test is conducted only after the experiment. Then the second one group pre-test and post-test design. That means test before and after experiment. For example, set control groups and experimental groups first, then pre-test. That means the test is conducted before the experiment. Then the experiment is conducted. Then post-test. That means once again the test is conducted after the experiment. Next type of experimental research design is true experimental research design. It is the research design for a true experiment or real experiment. In true experiment, researcher manipulate the independent variables or control group to measure the impact on dependent variable, that is the experimental group. So in a true experiment, the researcher manipulate the variable or manipulate the independent variable to measure the impact of this independent variable on dependent variable. Here the control and experimental groups are randomly assigned. Next one, quasi-experimental research design. It is similar to true experiment but used in situations where randomization is difficult. So it is similar to true experiment, and the only difference is the control and experimental groups are not randomly assigned. Next topic, steps involved in conducting experimental study. First one, identify and define the problem. Then review relevant literature. Specify independent and dependent variables. Then formulate hypothesis. Construct an experimental design. That means select method, instruments, place, time, duration, etc. for the experiments. Then conduct the experiment. Then organize and analyze data, including the application of a test. Then present findings and conclusions as a report. Let me summarize and conclude the session. I have explained what is research design, what are the characteristics of research design, what are the steps in designing a research, then what are the qualities of a good research design, etc. Then the research design for some specific studies such as explorative research, descriptive research, diagnostic research, and experimental research. Thank you.